That's weird. That's weird. Kind of weirding me out.
You are a sad, strange little man.
It's crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy.
Isn't that weird?
That's weird, man.
It's strange.
Welcome back, campers. It is Alex Tobin, your camp counselor, and I am with...
D-Stacks money sign.
That's David Stokes, your other camp counselor.
What's up?
We're bringing back the scary stories this week. We know you guys have been deprived, so we thought we'd just, fill your need. Fill your hole.
Fill your creepy, spooky hole.
So we were thinking about what we could talk about as an intro, and there was something in the news recently that really sparked my interest. And I told David I wouldn't tell him until we started.
Okay. Well, I mean,
what?
Do we want to bring up the fact that we're recording this November 28th?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, for the holiday season, we have to record a few episodes ahead of time, so we are coming to you in a little bit of an advance.
Yeah. So, so this is recent as of November 28th.
I just thought that was quite the gap to jump for.
Yeah, you might want to tell them that. So, if anybody knows about a man by the name of John,
I know John.
Chau.
My brother. Oh, sorry.
John Chau.
John Chau.
You ever heard about John Chau?
John Chau. Is that the Korean Hulk?
That is not.
I am a big fan of the Korean Hulk.
Not the Korean Hulk.
If you have an Instagram, look up the Korean Hulk.
It's not the Korean Hulk. So it is. He's a Christian missionary. Is this still ringing any bells?
No, I know exactly what you're about to talk about.
What am I talking about?
The kid that went to the island.
Yes.
I can one-up you a way bigger one. Just continue your story.
I'll continue this for a second. So this Christian missionary named John Chau went to North Sentinel Island off the coast of India, and apparently it is a law that you do not step on that island, because on that island are a native tribe of people. I'm trying to find their names right now. I had their names earlier, but there's a native tribe of people. And they are very hostile towards outsiders.
Well, yeah,
and they do not want any outsiders there. So I'll read you this really quick. But
well, shit, dude. By the time this episode comes out, I'm sure all this will be resolved.
Well, what I was going to bring up is the fact that they're trying to retrieve his body right now.
Yeah, but you understand why that's not a possibility and why he was killed.
Well, yeah. I mean, okay. I'll explain that
to
the people right now. But apparently, this is not the first time. So, Indian police are trying to recover the body of John Allen Chau, the American man killed, trying to tell the remote tribe Jesus loves you. But they withdrew their boat over the weekend in fear that they'd be attacked. So the police are having a really hard time getting on the island because these people are so hostile. I mean, obviously they have the weapons to overpower them, but I think it's more of like a why
Jesus Christ, you could fucking throw a bomb out there.
Yeah, I mean, I think they have bows and arrows and stuff like that. So it says that on Saturday, a police boat about 437 yards away from the off-limits island in North Sentinel turned back after seeing tribesmen on the beach armed with bows and arrows, according to this newspaper. They said that they stared at us and we were looking at them. So they were just having like a stare off, and obviously that means, hey, you better not fucking come to this island.
Well, yeah.
But it says officials believe that they have a general idea of where Chau's body is buried because of information provided by the fisherman who took the 27-year-old near the island on November 17th. The fishermen who Chau paid $325 to take him close to the island say they saw the tribespeople drag Chau's body along the beach and bury his remains. 7 people accused of helping Chau reach the island were arrested.
Yeah.
So he went onto the island he's a missionary, so he tried to be like, hey, let me convert you to Jesus. He had good intentions. You just don't go there. The fishermen probably told him the same thing, like, hey, you shouldn't go there.
Okay, so do you know the main reason why they do not let people on the island?
Disease?
Yep. They don't have any modern medicine. They have no way of helping anything. A common cold could fuck them up really bad. So
that's super interesting.
Are you ready to hear my side of this story?
Do you want to keep going? Should I just finish this really quick?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, I'll finish this. So the Indian government Regulation forbids interaction with the Sentinelese, I guess that's what they're called, who are known to shoot arrows at outsiders. An anthropologist named P.C. Joshi, that's just an interesting name, professor at Delhi University who had studied the island, said that the isolated tribe had little resistance to disease and could die from contact with outsiders. Oh, okay, maybe that's why I knew that. I might have just read that. But Chau, they say that he's a Christian. He went to Oral Roberts University, which is where my childhood friend and next door neighbor Chase went to.
Okay.
So that's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
He's a little bit younger, but
Okay.
He went to this island to preach, and they killed him upon arrival. I don't know if they shot him with arrows. I don't know if they stabbed. Did they?
Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ. So it says, in 2016, the bodies of 2 fishermen killed by the tribespeople were buried, and 2 days later dug up and propped upright, which is fucking frightening.
Really? Because I have a hard time believing that, because I know the reason why they bury them is if they have any disease of any sort. That's the reason they keep them deep, so they can't get sick from them, because they have no way of curing diseases brought from other islands.
Well, that's the thing. I think it could have been a warning. Like, don't come back here.
Okay, that makes sense.
Look, they probably just didn't go to that part
Yeah.
of the island anymore, you know? And it says, apparently, authorities never recovered those bodies, and there is a fear that Chau's remains might never be brought back. But then it ends with Chau's family said in a statement that they forgive those who are responsible for his death.
Yeah.
So it's crazy to think.
Yeah.
It's not, I don't technically blame the tribes people. I just think
No, I don't at all.
I just think it's completely...
It's a very confusing situation.
No, it's baffling that there is a group of people who are completely untouched still.
And we should leave them as if.
Yeah, I agree. At least for an experiment, whether you are mad about them killing somebody and stuff like that, wouldn't you just be interested in letting those people be and just see how they evolve and see if they survive and see if they thrive, and you know what I mean? They create new technology for themselves. It's such a good case study in itself.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
I mean, for me personally, before I get into what I was going to say, I feel like a lot of things with technology in our society is almost like a race between other societies. But when you isolate yourself like that and you've been alive for that long, it's like they don't give a shit about power. They've been alive for that long by themselves. Why would they ever stress themselves out about shit like that?
What do you mean power-wise?
I mean, as far as I'm aware, they don't have electricity or anything. It's a very primitive place.
Oh, you mean...
And I feel like within lots of societies where we're constantly just being like the space race, being like, fuck, we got to be the first ones to the moon. They don't
There's no ego there.
Yeah, there's no competition. They don't care about that shit. So they don't want anything to do with us. Just let them be. We don't there's no reason to be checking oh, do they have iPhones yet?
Exactly. I mean, I don't think that we should use them as a case study, but I just mean it's super interesting. Let people do what they want to do, especially if the Indian government, who they're in their jurisdiction, are going, hey, it's illegal, leave them alone. Then everybody should leave them alone. But I mean, let alone if you don't agree with them killing outsiders and stuff that's bullshit. That's murder. Then think of it as a case study in itself. But I don't know. It's super crazy. But what were you gonna say?
So, as of 12 hours ago, one of my very close friends posted something on Facebook. Mm-hmm. One of my friends, who I won't name, you just sprung this on me, and it was a topic that I didn't know we were going to talk about, so I'm not going to name his name in case he didn't want his name attached to what he said. Was friends with this guy.
Really? Did he go to Oral Roberts as well?
He did not, but he met him in a wilderness first responder certification course.
Oh, okay.
And I just wanted to read 2 paragraphs about this story of what he wrote on Facebook. And he said, John was a remarkable human being. He was kind, considerate, compassionate, and someone who I would characterize as pure. He meant what he said and treated everyone as a friend. John never spoke to me about religion, and though he talked about traveling to India and living in a rural community, he never spoke about why he was there to others than to learn of the culture.
He was to learn of the culture.
He was just there to learn of the culture. the culture, language, and to expand his understanding of the world. That's just a tiny snippet of like the huge thing that he wrote about this person.
So he was basically saying that like he wasn't a
He's
like,
not just like
religion
Jesus
peddler.
this, Jesus that. Like he was a kind, compassionate person who looked for adventure and exploring. He just seemed like a very.
He was probably told, "Hey, these are people who have never had, contact with the outside world."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh my God, like that's great. Maybe they don't have religion. Maybe I can help them since they don't have any other religious influences." And I think that's the thing. I don't think people who, I mean, there are a lot of people who constantly push religion and stuff like that, but like,
Yeah.
but I think that it's all with a grain of salt. You know, you always have to, it's all in moderation and whatnot. And I think he was just honestly trying to help these people. I think he was just a little naive about the situation. He didn't know how dangerous it was.
Yes.
And I think that's why they arrested these 7 people who helped him get to the island. It's
Because
like,
you can't fucking do that.
it's like, you guys know that there's a history of them
Yes.
killing him. And it doesn't matter if he's just like, you guys, it'll be different, okay? And I think these fishermen were trying to be nice to me. Like, maybe
Yeah.
it will be different. I don't know. It's still, you can't go there. It's
Yeah.
illegal by Indian law. It's breaking the law.
Yeah.
That's why they can arrest him.
And I saw another article. It was very early on this because I started following this as soon as I saw it because it was a very interesting story to me, and it was before I knew one of my friends actually knew the individual personally. Mm-hmm. And I saw a thing that was that it said that he wasn't shot on sight. He was on the island for a certain amount of time. I forget what it said. I know it said he brought them a football. It said he brought him something else. I don't remember what it was. It wasn't a religious thing. He said he brought something, but he brought like an American football.
Okay.
I'm assuming, I don't know why. I think it was an LA Times article or something. I don't know why they refer to a soccer ball as a football. Like,
No,
you know.
yeah.
So it was an American, you know, I'm assuming
Spelled
it was
with a U or two
no,
O's?
just
okay,
O's.
yeah. That's
so I'm
very
assuming it was
cool.
a football, but it said that he came there and he was welcomed for a little bit, and he might have just said one thing wrong or maybe made one move.
Sneezed.
Yeah, something like that. Maybe sneezed, coughed, made a movement, and
Oh my God, that is frightening.
but it shouldn't be frightening because you have to understand like what he did was something that was not supposed to happen.
Well, it's
Regardless of how good of intentions you had, their society is built on the entire fact that they are isolated. They don't have modern medicine. They don't want, I don't want to say modern illnesses, but, you know, things that don't exist to them. And if that's what they're doing, then like, fuck, we shouldn't be going over there. I understand, you know, from what I've read from my friend's personal post, that he seemed like a great person who had the best intentions, but that was just not what should have been done.
Yeah, I say it's terrifying because I'm putting myself in his shoes where he thought this was going really well, and you obviously don't speak their language. They don't speak English. They don't have any, like, I don't know how he's communicating with people, and then all of a sudden he does something where they shoot him with arrows, and it's like that is genuinely like upsetting and just like so scary to put yourself in that position. I don't know. But I mean, I don't know. It's a good, I don't know, maybe they're like a metaphor for like nature.
I don't know. Honestly, when the
weird.
story came out, it was something that was like, I don't want to say it because it sounds like a terrible thing to say, but like to me it was like a really exciting story because it's such a unique story that I feel like doesn't happen often. It's a very, you know, it's not, this shit doesn't happen every day. It's a strange thing to just like, I'm sure there's millions of people in the world that don't even know that there are cultures that are isolated like that. They don't know that there's places that don't have electricity, that don't have the internet, they don't know what's going on across the world. Like,
I mean, there's very few places that you can do that. Like maybe the Amazon and maybe. Like,
I know there's multiple places, but I mean this is an island.
That's
and
what I'm saying.
Island
is completely isolated.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how big the island is, but
yeah,
like,
I don't either. I didn't look too much into that, but
it's absolutely baffling to me that there's people who in this day and age are living in, I don't want to say caveman, but like, you know, early man days where it's just like very, very primitive, and they don't need like this certain stuff, and it just
They don't need
it's
it, they don't want it.
It's hard for me to wrap my head around.
Yeah.
Like I have an iPhone in my hand, I have a computer in front of me, I'm
Look at
talking
all
into
the
a
shit.
microphone.
Yeah, look at all the shit we're using right now.
And
to
then
do
there's
this.
people who are just like they're hunting for their food every day, and they live in grass huts, and it's like whoa, it's like
Yeah.
That doesn't seem like the same world to me.
But that's what's so cool about this shit.
Yeah, it is.
That's
really
one thing that
interesting.
like you have to like sit back and appreciate. Like there is a culture that doesn't have like
Yeah.
Look at anything in this room right now, and the only thing that you can find that they might have would be like
Water.
some dirt on our shoes.
Water. That sounds so fucking rude.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
like the only thing that I can see in your apartment that would be that's
Yeah,
not
water.
It's not IKEA furniture, but yeah, that's filtered water. Like
Filtered exactly.
you know, there's not you don't
It's-
even have a goddamn
it's
plant
just-
in here,
it's all-
Tobin.
it's-
Can we get a plant in the place?
I don't like life in my house.
It's all IKEA furniture, haunted dolls,
okay.
salt lamps. Maybe they have salt. I don't know. I don't know what's going on over there. But they sure as shit don't have dumbbells that you probably have never touched.
Those
They don't
are
have a
not mine.
microwave that's for some reason in your living room.
Because there's no room on the counter.
They don't have the ugly Giants hat sitting on top of the microwave.
You and your Portland Trailblazers bullshit.
They don't have posters. They
Okay,
don't...
you stop pointing at things in my fucking house. Okay.
What else can I point out to
Anyway,
embarrass you?
let's jump into these stories.
They don't have two dusty fans
think that was
awkwardly sitting against the couch. But you know what I'm saying? Like they don't have anything that's been manufactured.
Yeah.
And that's just crazy.
It's
That's
nuts.
insane.
I mean, we could talk about how crazy it is all day, but it's just
All right.
crazy.
It's a sad story. No one wins out of it.
Yeah.
Shall we have some fun and talk about some spooky stories?
Yeah. Let's
Let's do a whole full cartwheel tuck.
You guys basically got 3 stories today, so let's jump into story number 2.
Have you heard me have a haunted doll?
Okay, story number 2. Here we go. So today I'm going to talk about the murder of Dorothy Jane Scott. And this is a little bit of a LA hometown unsolved mystery.
Neither one of us call LA our hometown.
No, I mean, like, for LA people, it's their hometown, but, like,
Okay.
we live here now. It's like,
That's true.
I'm going home. Oh, you're going here. You're LA. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
But let's get into it. So the year was 1980, and Dorothy Jane Scott was 32 years old. Was a 32-year-old single mother living in Stanton, California, which is southwest Anaheim.
Okay.
So it's pretty close. It's like to the right of Long Beach, basically, by a number of miles. And she lived with her aunt and her 4-year-old son. So she was a single mom. She was a secretary at 2 jointly owned stores, one that sold psychedelic items like lava lamps.
I'm glad you're going into that because I was very curious what would be considered a psychedelic. Can we get a lava lamp for the table? Sorry.
Yeah, we get one. Like lava lamps, and
You know
also,
they're actually expensive though.
oh my god,
Sorry.
they're not that expensive.
Okay, like legit
$40.
ones. No, legit lava lamps.
What's the difference between a legit and a fake lava lamp? It's a glass thing filled with shit.
Real ones have radioactivity boiling
That's
in there.
not true. Okay, so at this psychedelic store where she sold psychedelic items, she sold lava lamps, and this is the other one they said. Mm-hmm. I'm guessing incense and stuff like that, but
Okay, that makes sense.
But
the blacklight posters, mushrooms, and little gnomes.
yeah, but this one also says love beads.
Oh,
So you know what love beads are, right?
the ones you put in the door. My sister had those.
I don't think those are love beads.
Could we get some of those for that door over there?
Are those called love beads? I thought they were anal beads.
Why would it be an anal bead? If
I
it's in
don't
the
know.
door?
It's called fucking love beads, man.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. Hey. I thought you were trying to say that the door beads were anal beads.
No,
Because that's a nightmare within itself. That's a Hellraiser thing.
No. So she worked there, and she also worked at a head shop. So smoking the.
I thought you were just
ganj.
explaining a headshot.
No, yeah, I know. Well, like I said, they're jointly owned, so it would make sense that the guy who owned or the woman who owned the first one would also, the psychedelic item shop would also own the head shop, and she worked at both. So, coworkers of Fred said she preferred staying at home, was a devout Christian. That comes back around. Rest in peace, Chau, and did not drink or do drugs. What are you laughing at over there?
So my curiosity really piqued about the whole lava lamp thing. I'm sorry, but I had to look on Amazon how much lava lamps were, and if you look at the number one bestseller in lava lamps, it has the most ridiculous photos. Here we see a couple who are playing video games, but instead they just photoshopped a lava lamp over the controllers.
Oh, what the fuck? That is so stupid.
And the next one is it's like a wife and her daughter like hanging out on the couch laughing, and there's just a lava lamp like right in the front of the photo.
That is not. Those are like stock images where they photoshopped a lava lamp over the top of it, not even convincingly.
That's why it's so good.
I mean, and
can't.
especially that's not the clientele that would buy a lava lamp.
Exactly.
So she was a devout Christian and did not drink or do drugs. Her parents, who lived in Anaheim, babysat their grandson while Scott worked. Scott is her last name. So
okay,
Scott.
I was like, wait, who's Scott?
Yeah. So Dorothy.
Dorothy Scott. Okay.
Yes, Dorothy. So grandma was babysitting the kid while Scott worked. Scott's father, Jacob, said his daughter may have dated on occasion, but had no steady boyfriend that the family knew of. I mean,
so wait, where
I'm
do
not
they
the-
know about the baby daddy?
No, I couldn't find any information on him. Obviously, he dipped. He left.
Yeah, I was just
know?
wondering if they had like anything about him.
No, I don't
Okay.
think so. But that's the weird thing when they're like asking her dad, like, "Does she have a boyfriend?" And he's like, "I'm not telling my dad if I'm going on dates and shit like that." Like that's
Really?
a super weird thing to
It's
say
the
to your
first person I
dad.
call.
If anything, say to your mom, like ask the mom. But
I call him. I go, Dad, put me on speakerphone.
Dad, I got some big news.
I talked to someone.
So months before her abduction, Scott had been receiving anonymous phone calls at work from an unidentified male. She told her mother she recognized the voice but could not remember the man's name. The caller alternately told Scott of his love and devotion and also threatened to kill her.
Yeah, there we go.
Yep, okay.
That's the trifecta. Love, devotion, I'm going to fucking
Murder.
kill you.
Love, devotion, murder. I can only have you. So the man also said he had been stalking her. She just came out of the closet and just told her, like, hey,
Yeah,
by the
yeah.
way,
By
stalking
the way,
ya.
that dress you bought last Wednesday that you haven't worn out of the house yet looks good.
Yeah, and he provided accurate details of her day-to-day life to prove it. God damn, man, that is not how you get girls.
He's like, you know what I really hate about you? She's like, what? He's like, the way you use the same knife for your peanut butter and jelly. You're going to get the peanut butter and the jelly, bitch. Stop doing that.
Well, at that point, you deserve to be murdered. I mean, that sounds so bad. Never mind. So he provided accurate details of her day-to-day life to prove it. Like, she didn't believe him when he said it into the phone. Scott's mother recounted, one day he called and said to go outside because he had something for her. She went out, and there was a single dead rose on the windshield of her car.
Oh my God.
What a romantic.
I thought you were going to say a single dead cat.
I was thinking bird, like a dead bird, and he's like, I got that for you. And you're like, oh my God, are you my cat?
Are you
He's like, it's a present. So,
Mr. Mittens?
dead rose on the windshield, which is like, God, like, how hard is it? It's harder to find a dead rose than it is to find a live rose.
Not around my house.
No, I mean,
That's where flowers go to die, apparently.
oh, you have you don't have a green thumb?
Do succulents count? Because I think they're dying too.
God, those things are hard to kill too.
Yep.
So Scott's mother said one call especially horrified her daughter. The man reportedly told Scott he would get her alone and cut her into bits so no one would ever find her.
I feel like that'd be easier to find someone if they're all over the place.
It depends where you put the bits.
You know, you have one big old bit. It's easier to hide. You get 100 little bits. You might drop one.
Like William Wallace, like spread each part, like arm, leg, put them on four corners of England, you know?
But you're gonna do that if you're trying to do that.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Where it's like,
I mean, you're gonna fumble a bit.
but you can't tell what a bit is when you find the bit. You're like, what is this?
When I carry bits, I fumble a bit every time.
If you find a body, you know what that body is.
You know it's a body.
If you find a cube of person, you're just like, what is it? What's this cube we got here?
I don't. That makes me think. This morning, I found a strange little wooden cube on my sidewalk, and I was like, I'm gonna open this. There's gonna be an ear or an eye in here, and I opened it. It was some type of puzzle.
Do you remember those little wooden boxes that you would open and there'd be a little bug moving his legs?
Oh yeah.
Remember those? You get them
Right.
from like Mexico and stuff like that, or like little tchotchke shops. like souvenir shops and stuff like that. Those are fun.
Yeah, those are great. I'm gonna bring you back one of those.
So she was cut up into 100 little bugs in boxes. No,
it was one of those cookie cutters. You just kept stamping it out.
oh God, that's fucking gross. So told her you would cut her into bits, and because of the call, Dorothy considered buying a handgun. About a week before her disappearance, though.
I just want to do like so Obama's taking all the handguns.
No, this was 1980. And she wanted to buy a gun, and a week before her disappearance, she began taking karate lessons.
Okay.
So she was very scared at this point, which is sad. You know, like,
no one should live in fear.
yeah, that's fucked up that this guy is like allowed to fucking call somebody and be like, hey, look, I'm gonna cut you up, and you're like, it's also really sad that they, 1980s technology, like, if people do that shit now, you're just like, it's so easy to track and be like, oh, you're fucking arrested, dude. But like back then, it's just like, I guess you get to call and harass people and fucking threaten them. And
I had people calling me every day, like for a month, just being like, thank you for being a Costco award person. Like, it would just be like, you won this. And what people don't realize, here's your announcement.
I like how you're comparing that to being called and chopped up in a little bit.
But I'm saying, if you do get those calls that the voice on made once, if you hold 0 down, it calls whatever phone line it's doing that from.
Really?
And it will connect you to the people, and it catches them off guard every single fucking time. And I had fun with it, and I would just start asking them questions, and they would usually just hang up on me immediately. But one time I did an old lady voice, and I kept asking them, like, like what over and over again, and like, oh, you need my credit card? Hold on, let me get it. And then I kept them on the line for like 2 minutes, and I was like, we pinged your address, motherfucker. I'll be there in a minute. And they haven't called me since, and that was like 2 weeks ago. And yeah,
you say you're the one who's going to chop somebody up into little bits.
If they keep fucking calling me about.
That guy hung up, bought a handgun, and started doing karate lessons.
Hopefully. He stopped calling me, so shit. It worked.
So, at 9 p.m. on May 28th, 1980...
Oh, that's the day after my birthday.
Oh, okay. I see how it is. So, you were 1 day old.
Wait,
were you born in 1980?
Yeah.
1 day old murderer. Look at you.
Yeah,
So,
I've got a secret to tell you. I'm 38.
At 9 p.m. on May 28, 1980, Scott was at an employee meeting at work. She noted coworker Conrad Bostron did not... I thought that said Boston for a while. I was trying to read that. I was like, oh, Boston Corbet?
Yeah, I could see you struggling, so I let you hang.
Well, Bostron is hard to... It looks like Boston. So Conrad Bostron did not look well and had a red mark on his arm. She and another coworker, Pam Head, left the employee meeting to take Bostron to the emergency room. It sounds like I'm an alien trying to pronounce Boston. I'm like, Bostron.
It's like a giant Boston robot. I am the Bostron.
That's what I kept thinking too.
Go
like, sounds like
Celtics.
So they took him to the emergency room at UC Irvine Medical Center. Scott then changed her black scarf to a red one and stopped by her parents' house on the way to the hospital to check on her son. Medical personnel determined Bostron had suffered a black widow spider bite and treated him.
Oh, shit.
Head said she and Scott remained in the ER waiting room. At no time, Head said, did Scott leave her side.
I'm gonna stop interrupting you so much, but like when I was like in 3rd grade, 2nd grade, I thought black widow spider bites was gonna be like something I really needed to worry about in my life.
Like quicksand?
Yeah, I was like, holy fuck, I need to watch out for these black widows. I've maybe seen one in my life.
I've seen one, and
I thought that was gonna be a way bigger deal.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a bigger deal in certain parts.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, yeah, but definitely not in LA. I
thought LA garages have them a lot.
Well, actually, maybe I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that's like a big spot. But being an Oregon boy, and yeah.
I say that the perk of not owning any property is the perk of being so poor is that you can really avoid black widows
and then sue whoever's property is they get bid on.
Can you?
Probably not. I think that's an act.
I know
of God.
You've been raising black widow spiders in your garage and training them to bite people.
That could be.
Who needs an attack dog when you got a Nice Black Widow spider.
No one will see it coming.
So she changed her scarf, obviously, from black to red, and that will come back into play later. But she did not leave Head's side the entire time at the ER.
Foreshadowing.
Boss Ron was discharged about 11 p.m. and given a prescription. Scott offered to bring her car to the exit. She did not want Boss Ron to walk too far in his condition, as he wasn't feeling well at all. Obviously, Head says Scott used the restroom briefly before heading out to the parking lot. Head and Boss Ron filled his prescription and waited at the exit for Scott. When they did not see her after a few minutes, they went out to the ER's parking lot. Suddenly, they saw Scott's car speeding toward them, its headlights blinding them so they could not see who was behind the wheel. They waved their arms to try to get Scott's attention, but the car sped past them and took a sharp right turn out of the parking lot. Initially, both thought Scott had an emergency with her son. And a few hours later, after not hearing from her, Head and Boss Ron reported Scott missing. So that's like major dick move.
Yeah.
if they didn't know that somebody else was possibly driving the car. It's like, oh, okay, well, we're still at the hospital, and this guy's got bit by a black widow, and you're just like peeling out and just like, see you guys.
Yeah.
So I don't know. What's so funny?
I don't know. It's just funny.
Something's funny.
I was just imagining the car, like, with the hood was just, like, a beautiful airbrush paint picture of, like, a black widow.
And then, like, the windows were down, and it's like, here I go again on my own. And just, like, peeling out. So, yeah, I have a very strong feeling that she was not behind the wheel of that car as it peeled out. So, at about 4:30 a.m. the next day, Scott's car, a white 1973 Toyota station wagon, was found burning in an alley about 10 miles from the hospital. Neither she nor her supposed kidnapper were anywhere nearby. So, fucking pretty terrifying to find like somebody's car on fire in an alleyway like 10 miles. It's like...
And wait, where was this again? Sorry.
This is in Anaheim.
In Anaheim. So, yeah, so 10 miles in Anaheim.
Oh, Stanton. But...
Yeah, but like 10 miles in Southern California is not...
It's not rural at all.
Yeah, it's not far. Like, I look at my college town, and it's shorter than 10 miles, but like 10 miles in LA or like Anaheim, like this area, it's like that's nothing.
Well, that's the interesting thing is that 10 miles in Anaheim could have been an hour driving. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, yeah.
I mean,
I don't know about back then, but yeah.
But it really messes with the time frame because like 10 miles on like a freeway is like nothing. That could have been 10 minutes. But like, do you think this guy or
statistically, you're going 60 miles per hour, 10 minutes, you know?
Do you think this was the plan the whole time? Like wait for her to get to her car, hop in, take the car, drive it to my car, like that he had parked 10 miles away? I don't know.
It seems like a headache.
Because like, where do you go past that point? Like,
I'm just not a criminal because it all sounds just like a headache.
I know, but that's the thing where it's like you drive somewhere, and then you park the car, burn it, and then you're on foot with the person you kidnapped. Like there has to be a
second car.
Yeah, there had to be a second car.
Or a helicopter.
But that's a weird fucking helicopter.
You considered it for a second.
No, I totally didn't even like think about it.
Or maybe a jet ski.
I'm a playboy murderer. But the weird thing is like there's such like a paper trail by being like I'm gonna park my car 10 miles away. I'm gonna hop in a taxi. I'm gonna go to the hospital. I'm gonna kidnap her. It's like then the taxi driver's like, yeah, I drove this guy to the hospital. And it's like,
are you kidding me? Taxi drivers are the slimiest people on earth. You can just be like, hey, here's an extra $2. Don't say this ever happened.
Yeah, but then the cop's like, here's $3. And he's like,
it was this guy right here. Yeah, this guy, yeah, big time.
So
a real creep, huh?
So
can I have 4, please? Come on, please. A pizza's 4, please.
What kind of pizza you buying? Cheap ass pizza.
What year was this again?
You can't even buy a Little Caesars fucking hot and shitty.
You take that back. I'll take a Little Caesars hot and ready over any major pizza company.
Fuck off. Shit gives me diarrhea.
Domino's. Wolf. You want to talk about diarrhea, huh, bud?
No, I like Domino's.
The Hut? Whoa.
Shut up. So on August 6th, 1984, so this was 4 years later.
Okay.
A construction worker discovered dog and human bones side by side about 30 feet from Santa Ana Canyon Road. The bones were partly charred, and authorities believed that they had been there for 2 years as a brush fire had swept across the site in 1982. So the body got dumped in 1980. There was a brush fire in 1982. Well, that's the thing. They don't know if the body got dumped there in 1980. She could have been kidnapped for 2 years, kept alive, and then he murdered her and dumped her.
Oh, easy.
But, yeah, they believe that the bones were there at least from 1982 to 1984.
Okay.
Along with the brush fire that happened in 1982. A turquoise ring and watch were also found. Scott's mother said the watch had stopped at 12:30 a.m. on May 29th, about an hour after Head and Boss Strawn last saw Scott's vehicle, which is a weird thing to happen. Like, why would you, unless like the guy like decided to break the watch and then put it back on her? Like,
So when I think about it, if someone's possibly swinging a type of weapon, maybe a baseball bat, who knows, something like that, she could have gone to block it and it could have broken the watch.
True, or just she could have like tried to hit him, the watch on something else, or just being thrown around and being put in. I don't know.
Yeah,
you never
I mean, I wear a watch every single day, and I notice when I hit it on shit, and it's a lot.
Yeah,
you don't think about it if you don't wear a watch, like how often you accidentally bump your wrist on things, but like I hit on fucking everything.
Do you have a? Oh, you have an Apple Watch?
It's busted, though.
I have a glass watch and I don't wear it that often, but like I've knocked it on stuff. I'm like, shit, I just scratched the shit out of it. So
I think it was today. I was like looking at it, I was like, this thing is fucked up.
So,
and I've had it for like maybe 3 years.
And 1980s watches are way more fragile.
You think so? I don't know. I feel like them shits were built
made
to
out of
last.
iron. It depends what watch company it was technically, but
so
the watch just stopped 12:30 a.m. on May 29th. On August 14th, the bones were identified as Scott's by dental records. An autopsy could not determine the cause of death, though.
Dental records. Dental records are like insane to me. When you think, I don't know. I think that's like so crazy. That's like out of all of your body, the thing that like. I'm going to stand still for a second. You can't see my fucking teeth. It's just, I don't know.
I don't get what you're getting at right now.
It just blows my mind that like that thing that's in your mouth is like something that's like such a common thing that people identify bodies with.
Because no two people's teeth are the same. Like my femur is like relatively close to your femur. I know we're different heights, but like if you were like my height, then our femurs would look very similar. But like teeth are the one thing that like people scan. Like when you go to the dentist, they take molds of your teeth.
Yeah.
They do scan.
No. I'm not saying like I don't believe it. I'm just saying like that always like for some reason that always blows my mind that like first of all we keep those records. Like the cops are like, hello, ma'am. Like we need them blueprints of these choppers.
I mean, think of another part of your body that is as documented as your teeth.
That's true. No, I'm not saying there's anything. I'm just saying it's just a weird.
No, I never thought about it until you brought it up, and I was just like, man, that is kind of weird. But
it's
I'm
weird.
like, but I mean, that is the one thing that we are constantly going in for. If like you only going for a broken bone if you broke your bone. It's like they don't X-ray your arm unless you break it. Like,
I've been doing dentist in 35 years.
Yeah, like, is that true?
Ooh,
I
we're
can
getting close.
smell your fucking breath from here.
I don't doubt it.
So,
Mom, if you're listening, schedule that for me.
About a week after Scott's disappearance, though, her parents received a phone call. This is fucked up and creepy. Her parents received a phone call from an unidentified man. Sorry, I yawned. This story bores me. I'm joking.
Yeah, tell me
I didn't mean
about
to do
it.
that. I don't know
At least
why
I'm
I yawned.
holding it down.
So he got a call from an unidentified man who said, "Are you related to Dorothy Scott?" After her mother said yes, the man said, "I've got her," and hung up.
That'd be a fun little prank to call people.
I'm just going to let that sink in.
Just, are you related to this person? I'm like, no. Fuck. Okay, let's go to the next number, +1. Really common name. Well, I got him.
God. It's, but actually that is like,
oh no, that
fucking terrifying
that'd be like, as like someone who's not a parent to anything, but I can only imagine like having like a daughter or a son and someone calling and be like, oh, is this your kid? Like, yeah, like we got him.
It's
Osama bin Laden, we got him.
It's awful. I mean, but it didn't end there. The same man called almost every Wednesday afternoon and said either that he had Dorothy or had killed her. The calls were usually brief and usually occurred when Vera was home alone. That's the mom.
Yeah.
In April of 1984, this is at the time they found the body,
Okay.
the man called during the evening. Jacob Scott answered, and the calls stopped. After Scott's remains were found in August of 1984, the family started receiving calls again. Oh, so now they're... Okay. April... Okay.
It's just like insane. Like, I almost feel like back then it would have been almost easier to trace a phone call.
So... Well, that's the thing. You have to have them on the phone a little bit longer. Well, and that's the thing where it's like they're also calling from landlines and stuff like that. Like they're not heavily monitored. But like I said, I misspoke when I said in April they hadn't found the body yet. So in April, the dad answered the phone and the guy like hung up and stopped calling until August.
Oh, okay.
And then the family started receiving calls again, and that's when the body was found. Police installed a voice recorder at the Scott's residence, but they were not able to trace the calls. However, the man never stayed on the line long enough. I mean,
Yeah.
that's like a classic movie thing where they keep him on the line, and I don't know how hard it is to triangulate it, but like, I mean, now everything is.
I mean,
like,
you're not doing it by hand.
I mean, now everything you could just be like, hey, this like they implemented like parts into the phones now where they're easily,
Yeah.
So I'll finish this up. A possible motivation in Scott's murder surfaced June 12th, 1980, when an unidentified man called the front desk at Orange County Register, the paper that had ran the story that day about the case. So he called the paper. A managing editor told police the man said, "I killed her. I killed Dorothy Scott. She was my love. I caught her cheating with another man. She denied having someone else. I killed her." The editor also said the caller knew Conrad Bostron, which is interesting.
I am Boss John.
Oh, wait. No, wait. I may take that back. I take that back. The caller knew Conrad Bostron had suffered from a spider bite the night of May 28th. So I don't want to throw Bostron underneath, but I don't want to.
How does a robot get a spider bite, by the way?
They're like, I knew Bostron.
I knew Bostron.
So they knew that he got bit by a spider, which is still really interesting.
Yeah, no, that means he's still lurking.
Also, he also knew that Scott had been wearing a red scarf. She had changed her black scarf to a red one after the employee meeting. Neither of these details had been published in the June 12th article. The caller also claimed Scott phoned him from the hospital that night. Pam Head disputed the claim, saying that she had been with Scott the entire time and she had not made a phone call. Investigators believe the anonymous caller was responsible for Scott's death. Okay. So, because he had all this information that no one else had.
Oh yeah, well that's like the first thing they look for when they're interrogating someone is like when
missing information.
They keep asking stuff and they wait until someone slips up and says something that hasn't been provided because I mean that's just like a
they withhold stuff.
That's a bullseye.
Yeah, they withhold them because there's a lot of people that call and go, I did it because they want the weird. They're like weirdos who want the fame.
Yeah.
But though the strange phone calls to Scott's family stopped in April of 1984, they resumed after Scott's remains were found in August. Oh, I already said that. But in spite of the killer's taunting calls, however, Scott's murder remains unsolved to this day.
Oh shit!
So they never found the guy. But I think it's really weird that that the friend was like, I was thinking about it more and more, and actually I have to go back on it because there's two things that are interesting. The killer knew that she changed her scarf. She knew that Bostron got bit by a spider.
Yeah.
And
holy shit!
And he claimed that that Scott called him from the hospital, which is
who it is.
So it's another weird thing because it's like she went to the bathroom, and I was like, oh, maybe she called from there, but there were no cell phones.
I know who it is.
Who?
It's the goddamn Black Widow.
The Black Widow?
It's the spider. It's that fucking spider.
Yeah, how is he working the pedal and the steering wheel?
Well, I mean, it's you've seen Ant-Man, right? when all the ants are climbing up the thing, and there's all the other ants, and it's like one of those monkey chain things, the old toy, and yeah.
But in all reality, it's really interesting because, like, we don't know who this guy technically was, because.
Or what he was.
I mean, honestly, like, it's...
No, that's like the worst, is like the unsolved mysteries from like decades ago.
Well, I just wonder if he was a coworker. If he
had
was,
to have been. He had to have been.
No,
a boss.
No, here's the thing, though. It totally makes sense that a weirdo would be walking into these psychedelic shop or smoke shops, fall in love with her. He was probably a repeating customer. She said she recognized the voice. He does not sound like somebody who could, I want to say, work at a normal job. You know
I'm
what I mean?
sorry, but like, for fuck's sakes, if you're gonna be doing this shit, you're not gonna just be like using the same. If I was starting to kill people, I wouldn't be using my voice, because be like, I've heard that voice before.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like, it's so crazy that he knew all these, like. I mean, but here's the thing: after he got her in the car, he could have said, "Why were you at the hospital?" And she said, "My coworker got a spider bite."
Yeah,
he knew that. He was probably watching her at work.
Yeah.
Changed her scarf. He probably knew about the scarf. And then I forget the other thing that he knew about that was like,
yeah.
he was supposed to know about.
It could have been a boyfriend no one knew about. Who knows?
That's true too.
Yeah.
She could have gone on a date with the guy and be like, "Oh my god, he's a weirdo," and then, you know, all that shit. But like, it's just super, super sad because this lady was just trying to like live her life, had a kid,
yeah,
trying to work, and I mean, like, all fucking creepy ass dude murders where it's like, you make people pay for your fucking shitty personality and your loneliness because it's like you can't interact with people. I don't know. It's just like,
for me, the worst thing about these stories is like her family will never have closure.
Exactly.
They'll never have any idea what the hell happened. Well, yeah,
I more hate the fact that this guy is still out there and being like, "I got away with it," and he's so arrogant.
I mean, he might be,
but I mean, that's
you never know.
But he might be dead now, but still, he never got put in jail, and he was so cocky, mean like, "I killed her," and like calling him, it's like,
yeah,
oh my god, I wish that guy got fucking murdered. Like,
probably choked on a chicken wing like 15 years ago.
I hope so.
He's been dead
I
since.
hope his pants were down too for some reason, and the cops found him like that, and it's like embarrassing.
Were you thinking when I said choking on a chicken wing, was that like a euphemism for yanking himself?
Self-fellatio. He broke. Have you seen Clerks 1?
Of course.
He broke his fucking neck. Remember that?
Yeah.
Trying to, Anyway.
yeah.
But, yeah, so it's...
Shout out to all my clerkies.
So, I mean, poor Dorothy Scott.
Yeah, that's a
never
shitty story.
had a chance, and it's still unsolved, and it's still one of those cases that people get really upset about, and they go, "What the fuck?" Like,
yeah.
how
John Bonet,
yeah,
don't get started.
Yeah. So, yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I don't know. John Bonet at least had more information than this. This is just like...
It's almost worse to have more information with no answers, though.
I guess you're right, Yeah. So, all right. That's it.
Well, I mean, should we talk about it?
What?
Like, should we talk about it?
What are you talking about?
I know we're all thinking about it deep down inside.
You're being fucking
I'm
weird.
so fucking sick of this, of us ignoring this shit.
Are you going to chop me up into a bunch of little pieces?
No, this is much bigger than that. This has more than you and me on it. This is a big deal, and I'm sick of people ignoring it, okay?
I get it. It's not going to be something important.
Let's talk about lizard people.
I knew you were going to fucking bring up something fucking stupid.
This is not stupid. This is very important.
Prove it to me.
Okay.
Prove it to me.
So, I get it. Not a lot of people might not know about lizard people. Do you know about lizard people? How much you know about lizard people?
I know that they
I'm going to stop you there.
they supposedly inhabit the earth, and a lot of politicians are them.
Okay, hold on. Let's dive a little more into this. So, lizard people have many names, such as reptilian humanoids.
Okay.
And which some people just shorten it down to reptilians, or reptoids, or reptilianoids. And then
which one's the derogatory one? Reptoids, I'm guessing.
Let's go with that. And if that isn't it, then let's make one. Because I'd love to make a derogatory
My
term.
breath stinks. Can I have a reptoid?
Here's the one that I still don't really get is
Cold-blooded.
Here's the one I don't get is Sauronians?
What?
Saurians? Saurines? I don't know what that has to do with any of it. That one confused me.
It might be like a Latin word or something.
Yeah,
like
who
that.
knows? And then there's draconians.
I've heard draconians.
Yep. And there's, obviously lizard people. That just spells it out for you. But the most dangerous name for a lizard person.
Lizard peoples.
The most dangerous name for a lizard person
Is David Stokes.
could simply be Alex
Fuck you.
or David
Okay.
or Mike
Or Gary.
or Gary
Yes.
or Sarah.
Are you just going to spend the rest of the time going through every fucking name you could think of?
That's right.
Or Donovan?
But there's no really real way to tell if you could possibly be living with an LP, maybe in love with an LP. You could be sitting in the car right now listening to this fucking show
With your lack of ears.
with an LP.
With holes in your head.
I mean, they're fake. And you might not even know it. You could, every day you could communicate with an LP and not even know it.
Do you ever find your spouse staying too long in the hot shower? Because maybe
out
their
in the sun.
heat lamp can sustain them?
Is your spouse's heat lamp really raking in the dough on the energy bill?
You find a bag of crickets in your nightstand every once in a while?
Oh, they don't eat crickets, my friend. So, before we get too deep into what they eat, can we talk about one thing real quick? A lot of people are probably a little confused because, you and I both know what lizard people are.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people who
Sexy?
do not.
Oh, yeah?
If they want to be. So when I was saying, the whole thing about, it could be almost anyone, you might be really confused about that. That's because these reptilians are shape shifters.
Ooh.
And they could be hiding anywhere among us. Anywhere. You could be the goddamn mailman, the crazy cat lady next door, or maybe even our president of the goddamn United States.
Well, I was going to say Papa John.
Yeah.
Might be Papa John.
It's 100% Papa John.
I mean,
I felt like I didn't need to even say that because that's an automatic.
Yeah.
The Papa's in the house.
yeah. Bo's in the house.
Papa's in the house!
It's so fucking loud, you ass fuck.
Yeah, I guess it is a little late. Your neighbors don't appreciate this lizard people talk.
So, they don't like Papa in the house.
Yeah, no, they don't.
Papa's in the terrarium. So,
But yeah, so like I was saying, I don't think a lot of our listeners might really understand the secret lives that we share on this small rock flying through space.
well, I have a question.
Yeah.
Where do the lizard people come from?
Oh, well, we'll get to that. So actually, my next sentence was, so where and when did us humans first come in realization of this secret society? Do you know anything?
We're still not in realization of it, technically.
I know, but do you actually know the back history of where this came from?
Not really.
Because I've known of this for a long time, but I've never actually looked into the history of it. So Michael Barkin, a political science professor at Syracuse University, believes that in 1929,
Oh.
the theory was birthed from the Robert E. Howard work Conan the Barbarian,
Oh.
which is basically the Bible to me.
Arnold played Conan.
Yes, he did, and so did Aquaman.
Oh,
I saw him at the airport a few
Khal
months ago.
Drago.
Yeah, Khal Drago. Fuck, how am I blanking on his name?
Jason Momoa.
Jason Momoa. I saw him at the airport. Big dude.
He cut a man in half with a broadsword.
And I would believe that he could.
Yeah.
I know that was a TV show, but I could probably still see him doing that. You get a frail enough man without any calcium in his bone.
Thank God you were in the airport where they really frown against bringing broadswords on the plane.
No, but that dude bought about a 30 rack of $15 Stone IPAs and just went to town.
That's fucking nuts. He drank a bunch of beers.
Yeah, I mean, he was with people. He didn't drink all of them, but I remember I bought one with my lunch. I was like, really breaking the bank here, but I'm on holiday. That he comes through and buys like 20 of them. Like,
What restaurant were you at?
We had to take a bus. I don't know.
What? What does that mean?
I fly to small places that don't do the main things, so you have to like take the.
Oh, you took a bus to?
No. It's the the shuttle thing in the airport, so it goes to like one of the smaller.
You drank a beer on the shuttle?
I wish. Okay, this is irrelevant. This doesn't matter. So in Conan the Barbarian, there's a group of characters named the Serpent Men, who were from quote unquote lost worlds such as Atlantis and Lemurian.
I'm unfamiliar with that.
Yeah,
with that part of the map.
I am too. But so basically, they ran mighty civilizations, secretly running the world and shit like that. And
They ain't running world no more.
well, they might still do.
Damn it.
Howard Serpent Men were described as humanoids and human.
Reptoids.
Yes, they were basically human bodies with snake heads who were able to imitate real humans at will, lived in underground passages, and had mind control.
Hello, Karen. Have you seen my tuna sandwich?
Hello, Eric. This is your father. Do your chores.
Hello, Janine. Is it cold in here, or is it just my blood?
Susan, turn the thermostat up to 200 degrees. Open the oven at 500 so I can hang out in the kitchen.
Rebecca, I am molting. Don't look. Okay, I'm done. I'm fucking done. I'm done.
So with the conjoined powers of shape-shifting and mind control, there's no way for us to really stop them. I mean,
They got mind control too?
think of the most unstoppable duo. That'd be shape-shifting and mind control.
Me and a hammer.
Me and Hammer versus rats.
I'd pay-per-view that.
Yeah, so at the end, there's no way for us to stop them, leaving them unfathomably powerful and basically taking over our society at will.
They could have it.
Yeah. Shit, they might help it.
Fuck, make it better. Come on.
So let's talk about David Icke.
Ooh, David Icke?
I tried Googling it. I couldn't find a pronunciation. His last name is Icke. I think it's Ick, maybe Icky.
Okay.
So I'm just going to go with Ick.
Either one's not great.
Yeah, Big Daddy Ick has been a true pioneer in this topic. Ick says that we, the Earthlings, have tall, blood-drinking, shape-shifting reptilian humanoids from the Alpha Draconis star system hiding in underground bases here on Earth, and that they have been plotting and successfully infiltrating our society and taking our own home from us. Okay,
well, I'll start believing that when they're just like, no more food, only crickets. Like,
I mean, no, come on.
I mean, well, what the? So they drink
They're
blood.
flesh eating. You know.
Okay. My thing is, what are they enacting for control that would?
I don't know big words like that.
What are they doing to make them more powerful or comfortable to our world right now? Like, they said they're gaining
global warming.
Oh my god! Actually, that would be like
that makes sense. I just made that up on the spot.
But that's the thing. Global warming doesn't necessarily.
It doesn't exist.
I was gonna say global warming doesn't technically make the Earth just warmer. It changes weather patterns. And
I was in Montana and it was snowing. Where's global warming?
I fucking hate when people say that shit. It's like, regardless, just don't drive the fucking giant car with the pumping out the black smoke. Like, that's not good for any of us, right?
Whatever, bro.
Whatever. I got my skull ring in my back pocket. I don't need to listen to you, Yankee.
So, Ick says that most of the world's leaders, old and new, have been these filthy lizard bastards all along. Ick lists the I'm going to butcher this one. I even spent some time trying to remember how to pronounce it, and I forgot it. So, Merovingian dynasty, who ruled over the Franks for over 300 years. The Rothschilds, who established the banking business in 1760s. And the American presidential family, the Bushes.
I know them.
And the one and only British royal family.
Okay.
All lizard people.
No, Bush is too cool.
You know, that's one thing I love about George W. is that
Bad president, cool guy.
So many people hated him. I mean, I'm from Oregon, and it was a time that I couldn't be political because I was a small child. But so many people hated George W. Bush as a president, and ever since he hasn't been a president, I'm just like, this guy's the fucking man.
He seems really cool and genuine and nice. He just probably shouldn't have been president, but, you know.
And that's a possibility. People can be good people and not be a good president, I guess. It should also be noted that in 2013, a public policy polling service in America recorded that a pathetic 4% of registered voters believed in X's ideas. Can we wake up, people? Can we wake the fuck up? If you are 4% of registered voters that are realizing that all of these people we're voting for are just a bunch of human flesh-eating, tall-bodied lizard people, like, can we get a real human being in the White House?
I just love... Oh, sorry, you're boring me. I just love... I just love the idea that these people got a fucking survey in the mail that said, "Do you believe in lizard people?" And they're like, "What the fuck?"
And 4% of them were like, "Fuck yeah!" I guarantee the 4% were people like me who'd go, "Yup."
The even better part is that they put no, and then they sent it back in the mail.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but you also have to think of like your civic duty of just being like, "This is a poll right now. Like, if I don't send this back, then what is this going to end up saying?"
You make a good point.
Yeah. So here we go. In February 2011, I don't even know if I'm allowed to say his name anymore, but Louis C.K. Rest in peace his career.
He was good too.
He was.
Stop showing your penis, people.
Yeah. Stop showing your rock hard penis.
Okay. Well, what about him?
On a radio show, he jokingly asked former U.S. Secretary of Defense Ronald
McDonald
Rumsfeld multiple times if he and Dick Cheney were actual lizard people and if they enjoyed eating human flesh. Rumsfeld repetitively refused to answer the question because he was possibly guilty of the accusation.
Oh my fucking... Okay, if you're actually guilty of it, you'd be like, "Oh, okay, no, we weren't."
Next question.
Is there like a bylaw in the lizard handbook that says if somebody asks you, you cannot lie, but you can withhold a question, you can withhold an answer?
Well, that was the joke that Louis C.K. made, was like, maybe it's a part of the rules that you have to answer a question or ignore it, like you can't lie.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So last December, a man was arrested in Washington State. Stopped in the middle of an intersection because he was waving an AK-47 and screaming, "Sending the news," and "Lizard people." When the police arrived, the man put his firearm in his vehicle and laid on the ground to be apprehended. The statement from the police say that the man had, and in quotes, snorted methamphetamines to lose weight.
Oh.
The man had this to say.
I should try that.
Yeah, the man had this to say. "The meth doesn't make me crazy. The lizard people are real." And the man also told reporters that our very own President of the United States of America, Donald Trump, had called his home phone to tell him about the lizard people, and that Donnie needed him personally to take up arms and fight the lizard people before they took over. The man also said that Donald Trump had said a, in quotes, "alpha dragon."
What does that mean?
Which I'm assuming means a high-ranking lizard person had kidnapped his family, is holding them hostage.
Oh my god! How do we get that guy on this podcast?
So I mean, but you know, at the end of the day, was he telling the truth? Was he lying? Because as far as I could research, I could not find a comment from Donald Trump or
Barron,
or I could not find an update on this man's family or their safety. I mean, if they're not going to give us either one, then who knows? This could be completely true. This could have all been true. And you know what they all said?
Fucking alpha
hold on.
dragons, motherfuckers.
We'll get to it. Hold on. Okay. So I was trying to find an accurate source in the most recent document and see what I can find out about the last the most fully studied poll asking Americans about their take on the lizard people.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And in a study that took place in 2016, they came to the conclusion that about 12 million American people believe in our reptilian overlords.
12 million?
12 million.
I mean, I'm not telling everybody that they're wrong or anything like that, because they could be just as right as me not believing in them. But I mean,
I wanted to read this. I wanted to quickly read this quote that I found on the Washington Post, and it reads, and I quote, it says, 2013, Hillary Clinton vanishes into hibernation to meditate and shed her lizard skin, just to add to difficulty to her next term running for president. She decides to cultivate several very serious medical ailments, including but not limited to at least 8 strokes. Do you know what that means?
No.
That means that the lizard people are so superior that they actually have to find ways to harm themselves in ways that humans cannot possibly do to make themselves appear more human.
I'm the Washington Post?
Yes. You can find it. You just Google Hillary Clinton lizard person, the Washington Post comes up.
I'm dumbfounded.
And that happened in 2013. And they were right because, she did give herself 8 strokes to make her seem, I'm more human. And thank God we have Donald Trump, a real red-blooded American who finds Washington State people to pick up their AK-47s and go out to the streets to protest this and fight the lizard people, because we all know that she was a lizard person.
Have you ever met somebody who had 8 strokes and thought, you are definitely human? This validates you as a person. Fucking 8 strokes? Your brain would not be fucking functioning. You vegetable.
Yeah, but you're missing the whole fact that she's not a person.
How do you give yourself a stroke?
By listening to this podcast.
It's true.
So my question to you is, do you believe in the lizard people, Tobin? Are you ready to pick up arms and fight them for your freedom? To make our country and our world what it needs to be.
How about this? I got a good middle ground for you.
Okay.
How about this? I'll pretend not to believe in lizard people so I could go in as a secret undercover agent, bystander, and then I could really strike when it matters. I don't need a gun.
Okay.
I don't need.
You just got to plug up their. You just got to plug up their little gills, their weird little ears.
All I need. What kills lizards?
A couple of ice cubes.
All I need. Yeah, all I need is a nice RAV4, I've seen a couple of lizards on the street in Arizona.
That kind of sounds like something a lizard person would say.
I mean, I think a lizard person would say some political joke. Political, I don't know.
Yeah, political, retrograde.
I think if a lizard person would say, Fiona, do you have any more heat lamps in this office? I am getting cold near the vending machine. He turned into a Jamaican at the end.
A little bit. Sophie, we need to go to Death Valley. Turn the defroster on.
Karen, I'm going on vacation under a rock.
Yeah,
that's it.
That's good.
Yeah, that's good.
Let's call it a night.
Wow, so that was an interesting story, But
I told you I was going to take a different turn on this one. You had no idea what I was coming with.
Sometimes you gotta be controversial here, and that is what this podcast is all about. It's just being controversial, sticking to our guns, whether those are pointed at lizard people or ourselves. And really just telling you guys the truth that you need to know.
Those are facts. And also, join my fight to get Alex Jones back on YouTube.
You got kicked off YouTube?
Oh, he's banned from like every form of social media, Twitter, YouTube, everything. I think.
Really?
Yeah. No,
they didn't even ban Trump from Twitter, and they banned Alex Jones?
Because Alex Jones is a complete and total psychopath.
They should let him on Twitter. Just drive more people to Twitter, right?
Hey, yo, Alex Jones, if this lands in your lap, contact us. We'll have you as a guest, and we'll get you back on the airwaves.
I would kill to have him as a guest, but
That'd
I feel
be
like
the best thing
very
ever.
Intimidated.
Oh, I'd love. Well, you know, he wouldn't be able to get us.
He would know that I am a lizard.
He would know.
Oh my god! Don't fucking do that to the mic.
Wait, don't let him know we're a lizard person yet. You can really trap him with some good questions.
Okay.
Okay.
What kind of cricket he like? Anyway. Oh, hey, I think that's it. I think that's all we got for today. We hope you guys enjoyed that. Those 2 interesting stories. 3 interesting stories. And, yeah, we really appreciate you guys sticking around and supporting the podcast. And we like doing it for you guys, and we hope you guys like it. Check out campstrange.com to see all the hyperlinks. Rate, review, and subscribe. We love when you guys do that. Please share this. You know what? Share this with your friends. It's like word of mouth is great too. You know, people are looking for new podcasts all the time. Holidays are coming up. You got long drives ahead of you, long plane rides, boring family.
Oh yeah.
Go take a 20-minute dump and listen to this podcast. Get away
You
from
wouldn't even know the headphones are on.
Get away from Grandma. She's saying something racist again. Why don't you go to the bathroom and listen to us who talk about lizard people?
Yeah.
So,
We
yeah,
like to keep you informed and safe.
yeah.
We're worried about you.
So, yeah, we had a great time doing this. Do we have any more plugs we have to say?
We don't have any more plugs, but I guess if anybody wants to sponsor us,
Yeah, anybody want to sponsor us? Also, go buy some of our T-shirts.
yeah,
They're
go give your T-shirt
for Christmas.
Go give your grandma one of our T-shirts.
And if you buy a T-shirt, take a picture in it and send it to us because then we'll post it on the Instagram because that's cool that you guys like us.
Just buy a T-shirt.
Because we like all of you guys.
Buy a T-shirt for your nicest family member because they won't be able to say anything mean about it.
Yeah. So
We're just kidding. They're actually like amazingly comfortable shirt. Like I wear my Camp Strange shirt even when I'm just wearing a sweatshirt because it's so soft and comfortable.
Your mom, shout out Jody.
She's out of control.
Jody, she bought me a ticket to, you guys, if you haven't heard of this band
No,
yet.
yeah, that's a good shout out.
Yeah, if you guys,
how did we forget
I
about
don't know
doing
who
this?
forgot about this, but if you guys haven't heard of this band yet, check out Dermot Kennedy, DERMOT Kennedy. Great music. Jody, David's mom, bought me a ticket to the concert because she is family friends with the drummer,
Bassist.
Kieran.
Bassist.
Kieran.
She's also friends. Well, she's now friends with the drummer, but no. So yeah, longtime friend with Kieran, the bassist.
And the concert was amazing. Their music is super good. They're gonna blow up. I already know it. Their music is that good. And Jody bought a shirt for Kieran, the bassist, and he wore it after the show. And he walked out and he met us. He was rocking the Camp Strange T-shirt.
It was awesome.
He requested to wear it on stage, but apparently they all have to wear just like
They got a uniform,
plain black shirts and stuff. So
and we did take a photo with him, but it came out blurry.
fucking blurry, man. So
You want to tell him about the gift my mom gave him after the show?
what? Oh, she gave Kieran. So David walks up to Kieran. This is great. David walks up to Kieran and like they don't know each other because Kieran is Australian, but Jody knows his parents from going over to Australia. And you know, so they don't really know each other that well. And he walks up. He's like, "Hey, I'm David." He's like, "Hey, I'm Kieran." And they like go to shake hands, and then like Kieran's like, "Oh, I'm a hugger," and they like hug. And then Jody goes, and they're like, so David and Kieran hug, and then Jody goes, "Hey, I have something for you, Kieran." And he goes, "What?" And he hands her a picture, and it's 2 naked babies in a bathtub.
But it's not even babies. We're like
Toddlers.
we're like 3.
Okay,
Like, that's a weird
so
age.
toddlers in a bathtub, and and David goes, "Is that me?" And Kieran goes, "Is that me?" And there's a picture of Kieran and David in a bathtub together, naked, and I look at them and I go, "Holy shit, that's weird. You guys almost didn't hug." Like, and then David goes, "Yep, we shared dick soup." So
Yep, dick soup.
so that was a very weird. It was a really funny thing for Jody to bring out, and I love the fact that she didn't show David at all.
I had no idea the photo existed. I didn't even know I'd ever met him.
Yeah, so I thought that was really funny, and so Shout outs to Jody. That was cool. Thank you so much for the ticket.
Shout out to Dermot Kennedy and Kieran.
Seriously, listen to Dermot Kennedy. All their music is good. Fucking great.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Easy to listen to, but they're like really good. Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We always love talking to you guys or telling to you guys.
We
whatever.
like talking to you, talking to your ear, and you can't say anything back.
Stay safe from those lizard people and those murderers and stalkers, and don't forget to stay strange.